Well, as many of you know, it's time for a live English lesson. I have pressed the correct button and the lesson should be streaming. We'll check in a moment to make sure that's actually happening. It looks like it is. Hopefully you don't think this lesson is too uncommon. Hopefully you are not unable. I'm using double negatives to try and use unwords, aren't I? But I'm not sure what these are doing here. These are probably from Jen. Let's get them in focus. Will it focus? Wait, is the camera not focusing? Okay, we're going to do the thing where I turn the camera off. Don't panic. I'm still here. In a moment, the image will come back on the screen again. Sometimes the camera doesn't like to focus, which isn't bad for the lesson because I sit the same distance away. The camera was unable to focus. Did you notice it was unfocused? There we go. Anyways, I was trying to show you these. These are laying on the desk. These are from Jen to hold her hair. I don't need them. They are called bobby pins. Anyways, let me just make sure. There we go. Everything is working. Let's get this lesson, this English lesson started. Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson about opposites with the prefix un. Now, I kind of made the title wrong there. I should have put the dash on the other side of un, because now it looks like a suffix, which is something that comes at the end, but it's not. It's a prefix, something that comes before. So you have many words in English where there's another word that goes with it that has un at the beginning, and it means the exact opposite. I'll give you a quick example, locked and unlocked, and you could probably guess this one, happy and unhappy. So welcome to this English lesson about words with the prefix un that make, I'm going to say it turns the word into the opposite, but it actually creates a whole new word that means the opposite. So welcome to this English lesson about opposites with the prefix un. Hey, hopefully that intro made some sense to you. I felt a little bad that I'll have to fix this for the re-release of this. I'll put the dash at the other end of the un, but good morning. If you're wondering why I'm doing this lesson, some of you are curious where the idea comes from. I was walking through the barn the other day and there was a broom, and the bristles of the broom, instead of being straight, are uneven. So instead of being even, they are uneven. And I thought, hey, I don't know if I've done a lesson on opposites. Maybe I should do that. Good morning to Tora Hiki, American English with Brent, Freddie Wolf, Aerosmith, Jai Hoon, Miller Winters, Mei Hui, Unsel is here, Hafiez, Sai Sandy, Uliana, Unabi, Fabian, I'm just scrolling back here, Key Park, lots of familiar names, Sai Sandy, Wanda Prado, Freddie Wolf, I might have said Freddie's name already. Welcome. If you're watching this at 8:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's live. I'm sitting here in my living room / studio. It fills both purposes, and I'm here to do a lesson with you about opposites. So I hope it will be good. Unabi says, quite unexpected, Mr. Bob. Yes, this was also an unexpected error on my part, but that's okay. Bob isn't unknown. There we go. Bob's hair is not uneven. So lots of uns in the chat. Good to see. Let's double check everything and then we will start the lesson. Okay, here we go. What button do I click to do this? I think I just click the next button and then I make it a lot bigger. Locked and unlocked. So locked is closed with a lock, so it cannot be opened easily. And unlocked is not locked, able to be opened. So if you have a door, or even if you have like your car can be locked, beep, beep, and then people cannot easily open it. It's locked. Or you can unlock your car, beep, beep, and then it is unlocked and it is easily open. Notice as I do this lesson, I will inadvertently switch between using the descriptive adjective form and the verb form. So you can lock your car and then the car is locked. It's a locked car. And then you can unlock your car, the verb, and then it is an unlocked car. So locked, you can lock your front door and then it is locked. You can unlock your front door and then it is unlocked. Locked, closed with a lock, so it cannot be opened easily. unlocked, not locked, able to be opened. Safe and unsafe. Safe, done in a way to prevent harm, and then unsafe, done in a way that might cause harm. So you can see in these two pictures here, in the picture under safe, there are two things plugged into a power bar, a few USB devices. Everything is neat and organized, and it is very safe to do it this way. In the picture under the unsafe, there are cords plugged into splitters, into cords, into splitters. There are more things plugged in here than you should really plug in, and this is definitely unsafe, done in a way that might cause harm. So you could, in this unsafe photo, you could start a fire. Now I should expand on this. You could say, I live in a very safe part of town, or I live in a very unsafe part of town. So you can use it to describe areas as well. Or maybe you know someone who's, I'm trying to think, like you could even describe a person's car. You could say it's safe to ride in his car because it's a new car, or you could say it's unsafe to ride in that car because it's falling apart. So the descriptions you can expand on a bit to include other things as well. Safe, done in a way to prevent harm, or something that will not do harm. And then unsafe, done in a way that might cause harm, or something that will not cause harm. Safe and unsafe. Happy and unhappy. Happy, feeling pleased or joyful. I am feeling quite happy today. Unhappy, feeling sad or not satisfied. Trying to make my sad face. It's not working. Probably not a good day to make faces. I'm definitely in a happy mood today. I'm feeling pleased and joyful. It's a nice day. It's the last day of the work week. I am looking forward to go to work. A few days ago, I was unhappy, mostly because I was really busy. During the last week of May and the beginning of June, there are a lot of extra expectations at work, things I have to do. The one night I worked on school stuff till almost 11 o'clock at night. I was kind of unhappy that day. So happy, feeling pleased or joyful, unhappy, feeling sad or not satisfied. Cooked and uncooked. Food prepared by heating is cooked, so that egg is cooked. We might also say it's fried. Uncooked, food that is raw, food that is uncooked. So this egg closest to me is uncooked. It's raw. It needs to be cooked before you eat it. And then the far egg under the word cooked is an egg that has been cooked and is ready to eat. Some food does need to be cooked in order to be safe to eat. By the way, we don't usually use uncooked to talk about foods that you don't normally cook. So you would eat a banana raw. You wouldn't refer to a banana as uncooked, but I would refer to lots of different meats or eggs or those types of things as uncooked if they are not ready to eat after having been heated. Wrapped and unwrapped. Wrapped is covered or enclosed in paper, cloth, or another material. And then unwrapped is the wrapping has been removed or has not yet been put on. So I really like the verb tenses in that sentence. So if you have a gift, when you give the gift to someone, you like to give the gift wrapped. You put wrapping paper on it. You wrap the gift. But before you wrap the gift is unwrapped. And after the person takes the wrapping paper off, the gift is unwrapped. So that word can actually refer to two different areas, wrapped and unwrapped. Even and uneven. Even would be the same on both sides or ends, and then uneven would be not the same all over. You can see this person's hair. In the far picture, the hair is even across the bottom. When I was walking through the barn this week, there was a broom, and the bristles of the broom were very uneven, I think from lots of use. So uneven would be not the same all over. So again, if you look at the far picture, the hair is even. It is the same on both sides or ends. In the closer picture, the hair is uneven. It is not the same all over. Covered and uncovered. This is one of my pet peeves when I'm at a market. In the far picture, covered means having something placed over or spread across something. And you can see there are some baked goods and they are covered. They cover them so that flies don't land on them. In the closer picture, though, we have some that are uncovered, not having anything placed over something. So in Canada, when you sell food outdoors, you are supposed to have it covered, because in Canada we have flies and black flies and mosquitoes and all kinds of different insects that might land on the food. So in the far picture, the food is covered. Something has been placed over or spread across the food. In this case, a glass lid has been placed over the food. And in the closer picture, uncovered, not having anything placed over it. Tied and untied. So we have a person here who needs to deal with a shoe that is untied. In the far picture, tied, fastened with a knot or bow. So a knot is when you put two pieces of string or rope together. A bow is when there is a loop in it. So if you look at the tied shoe, it's tied, but it also has two bows. In the closer picture here, untied, not fastened with a knot or loose. Every once in a while, one of my kids will be walking around and they will have one of their shoes untied, and I'll say, hey, your shoe's untied. You should tie it. Folded and unfolded. Folded would be bent so that one part lies over another. Unfolded would be opened from a folded position. So obviously these are related to each other. Something cannot be unfolded unless it has first been folded, I think. Is that correct? In this picture, we have a napkin. In the far picture, the napkin has been folded. It has been bent. I guess bent is the word to use, but I want to use the word folded again. It has been folded over itself, and so it looks really nice and tidy. The person in this picture now has an unfolded napkin because they have decided to use the napkin. So they have opened it from that folded position. So folded, bent so that one part lies over another. Unfolded, opened from a folded position. Hey, we're going to do some questions. Oh, Brent mentions another reason to cover food. Yeah, I also worry about a little kid sneezing all over the uncovered food. True. Freddie says, where did you find this egg? They're so rare currently. We have chickens, so it's easy. It's easy for us to find eggs. Okay, let me find the questions. Let's see here. Judith from Hungary. Hi, Bob. When do children start to learn these words starting with un and use it instead of no or no? Thank you. So interestingly enough, these are opposites, but as an English speaker, I don't really identify them that way. To me, they are two different words that just happen to have the opposite meaning. Do you know what I mean? Like as a kid, I didn't learn the word happy. And then later they taught me, oh, unhappy is a way to express the opposite. I just learned the word happy and I learned the word unhappy, and the only difference is the un, but I learned them separately as two different words. I think that's pretty common. So from I Am New, John says, good morning, Teacher Bob. Thank you for your lessons. I'm going to Vancouver to study English in September. Luckily, I found your channel this year. It has helped me learn a lot of English. Well, I hope you have an enjoyable time there. Oh, you can give a thumbs up to a super chat now. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is very generous of you. And I hope your time in Vancouver goes well. I hope that you have a good year and capitalize on it as much as you can. Like, make sure you practice English as much as you can while you are in Vancouver. But that's very, very cool. From Judith, hi, Bob. How common are these words starting with un in the English language? Very common. How can you say the otherwise? Common or uncommon? Yeah, that's a tricky one. These are all super common. Yeah, absolutely. You know, the car's unlocked. I'm unable to do that. That's unacceptable. It's unequal. Yeah, these are very, very, very common. That's how I would say it. Like used daily. That's how I would describe it. Should I have given the title opposites with un that are used daily? Maybe that will be more clickbaity. From Adrian, could you make a lesson with questions that we record on video so that anyone who wants to can send them in and get to know us even better? Is that possible? I've done this with pictures before and it received mixed results. But let me put it in my idea folder, because as I slowly change what the channel is in a few years, like in a few years, I'll probably want to slow down making, very well polished lessons, but I might just spend more time online live streaming. But at this point, I'm going to stick with the same. From Unsel. Hi, Mr. Bob. How does the meaning of unchange between a state like unhappy and an action like unlock? Is it the same kind of opposite? Thanks. You're awesome. Yes, it's a direct opposite. It's a 180-degree change in meaning. That's how I would describe it. Like my phone, you can't see my phone right now because it's locked. And then if I use my thumb, I can unlock. My phone is now on that. It's not, oh, just a sec. I think I just got a disconnect. Let me see here what happens. OBS, my studio said there was a disconnect and it said there was a reconnect. Fabian says, some people say a 360 degree, but that would put you in the same place. Haha. Yes. I think I got my thing correct there. Yeah, I think we're back. Somewhat big net disconnect, but it's okay. Well, okay. At least it's being recorded. So, but I think we disconnected during the question section anyways. As to Fabian's question, I would have to do a different lesson on that, because behaving, misbehaving, those are direct opposites. Understanding and misunderstanding can be used in a different way. Like, are you understanding this? Or there was a misunderstanding. So it switches from one type of word to another. Like the second one is a noun. So I have to look into that more. From Judith, hi Bob, how many birds are nesting on your property while you're doing this live stream about words starting with un? Thank you. They are, I don't know if they're nesting yet. The birds have just returned, and I'm not familiar with the habits of birds. I haven't seen any nests. But if you mean living on our property, hundreds. Like I just saw 2 fly by. There are a lot. From Sergey, have you ever eaten uncooked egg before? So I haven't eaten it, but I have. My roommate in university would make like a milkshake with raw eggs in it, because he liked lifting weights and he was trying to build muscle. And so he would blend milk and raw eggs and chocolate and ice cubes. And he would make, I guess, way back in the late 90s, that's how you made a protein shake. So I tried that and I didn't really like it. I don't really like the taste. So, from Unabi, hi, Mr. Bob. Just for fun, the unhappy and unlucky traveler, unaware of the unexpected delay, left his unattended luggage unprotected. Excellent use of un. I'll let you guys decipher all the meanings there, but that's a great sentence, Unabi. Thanks for writing that. Miller, sir, can we call upside down an opposite or not? Thank you. So if I take this remote control and I turn it like this, it's now upside down. So it's definitely an opposite. It doesn't really fall in the un category, but I would call it an opposite. If I turn this cup upside down, all the water will spill out. I should have a little sip there. So, but yes, from Unsel, whose name starts with un. So maybe Unsel's real name is, it's the opposite of Sal. Anyways, I'm trying to make a joke out of it, but it's not working. What's the psychological difference between unhuman and inhuman? They both seem negative, but do they feel different to a native speaker? Thanks. You're awesome. Bye. So if something walks and it looks unhuman, it means it does not look like a human walking. If you do something that, I would use the word inhumane with an E at the end, it means it's really mean and violent and bad. So definitely different words in terms of how they would be used. Let's see. Hello, Bob from Know That. What was the most unexpected surprise you've ever experienced? If you can think of one off the top of your head, and only if you don't mind sharing. Thanks, Bob. So I went on a trip once, and on the trip, we were really far from home, and we ran into people who live 2 kilometers from us. So this is many years ago when I was a child. My family went on a very long trip. It was one of the few vacations I went on. And we were like hundreds of kilometers from home. And we, at a rest stop along the highway, we met people who lived just a couple kilometers from us. Totally unexpected. We had no idea we were going the same direction or anything like that. From Fabian, it's NBA conference finals. Do you watch the SGA games as a Canadian player? Thanks. I have been watching some of the NBA finals. I've been watching the Spurs play Oklahoma, I think it is, but mostly because my son is watching it. But I'm not totally into watching basketball right now because the Toronto Raptors are out. They're out. So it's less interesting to me when the team I like isn't playing. Okay, let's get back to the lesson. Let's do that. This needs to be bigger. Plugged in and unplugged. So when something is plugged in, it's connected to a power source or outlet. When it is unplugged, it is disconnected from a power source or outlet. So you might be wondering, by the way, the picture from the plugged definition, that's what things look like in North America. And then the unplugged is definitely from a different country than mine. If you're wondering why I added the word in, when you have something like a pair of headphones or something that you need to plug in the wall, we use plugged in. So the toaster is plugged in. The phone is plugged in to charge. It is connected to a power source or outlet. And then, oh, why is the toaster not working? It's unplugged. When you use the word plugged, I should have made another set of slides because you could say the sink is plugged, the toilet is plugged. That means water doesn't go down it. And then you need to use either a sewer snake or a plunger to unplug it. So let me back up. You could say the toaster is plugged in, or the toaster isn't working because it's unplugged. You could say the toilet won't flush, it is plugged. And then you could say, I used the plunger and now the toilet is unplugged. So I should have made two different sets of slides for that, but that's how you would use those two. Finished and unfinished. Finished means completed. No more work needs to be done. And you see the Millennial Falcon made out of Legos there. And then you have unfinished, not completed, still needing work. I believe this is the same Lego set. And if you look at the far picture, it is finished. And if you look at the picture closest to me, it's definitely unfinished. So finished would be completed. No more work needs to be done. Unfinished, not completed, still needing work. I would love to do this Lego set, but I would need a lot of time and patience. I think there are a lot of pieces in it. Painted and unpainted. So if something is painted, it's covered with paint. If it's unpainted, it's not covered with paint. So this is actually the same photo, and I took two different little clips of it. In the first photo, the man has already painted the front of the car. So he took paint and he covered it with paint. So in the top one, the front of the car is painted. Sorry, in the far one. In the closer picture, it is unpainted, not covered with paint. And you can see he is in the process of painting it right now. So painted, covered with paint. Unpainted, not covered with paint. Healthy, good for you. Unhealthy, not good for you. So if you eat vegetables, they are considered healthy. I would say carrots and corn and peppers and cucumbers are all healthy food. If you eat a donut, it is unhealthy. It is not good for you. I would say that cookies and muffins, if you eat too many, they're unhealthy. Or if you eat them every day, it's unhealthy food. You can have a donut once a week. That's allowed, I think. So healthy, good for you. Unhealthy, not good for you. Now, there is a slight change as well. You could use this to describe a person. So you could say that Joe is very healthy. Jim is very unhealthy. So in that case, it would mean they are actually in good shape and feeling well, or they might be out of shape where they don't have very strong muscles or they're overweight and they are unhealthy. So healthy, good for you. Unhealthy, not good for you. Lucky. Having good things happen by chance. Unlucky. Having bad things happen by chance. So we have two pictures here. In the first picture, the person is lucky because they brought an umbrella and it doesn't look like it's raining, but the sun came out. So they might describe their day by saying, I was expecting rain, but I was lucky. The sun was out on my walk to work. So a good thing happened by chance. In the closer picture, you see a person running, holding, I think, a newspaper over their head, and it's raining. They were not prepared. They were unlucky. So they might say to someone, I was really unlucky. As I walked to work, it started raining and it wasn't supposed to rain today. So lucky, having good things happen by chance. Unlucky, having bad things happen by chance. Comfortable, uncomfortable. I will say the words a few times because we really mush this word together. We don't say comfortable. Okay, don't say that. We say comfortable, uncomfortable. When something is comfortable, it's cozy and nice to use or wear. So I would say in the picture for comfortable, it looks like a comfortable couch. She looks like she's wearing a comfortable sweater, and she has a nice comfortable blanket beside her. We also in English sometimes use the informal word comfy. It's a comfy couch, a comfy sweater, a comfy blanket. Under the uncomfortable, not nice to use or wear, this person does not look as relaxed. I don't know if this couch, he's sitting in a way that makes me think the couch is uncomfortable. So comfortable, cozy and nice to use or wear. Uncomfortable, not nice to use or wear. Balanced and unbalanced. So if something is balanced, it's even and not likely to fall over. So we see 4 stones all nicely on top of each other. And when you look at it, you feel like it might stand, if that was at the beach, that pile of rocks that is balanced might stay all day. But this pile is unbalanced. It's uneven and it's likely to fall over. Especially the middle stone number 3, makes the whole little stack of stones look very unbalanced. And it looks like it could fall over at any time. It's at risk of falling over at any time. So balanced, even, not likely to fall over. Unbalanced, uneven, likely to fall over. Now, if you know anything about cars, tires on cars are balanced. And if something happens, if there's a defect, they might be unbalanced. When a tire is balanced, they actually spin the tire and then they know where to attach a weight. So it spins without vibrating or shaking or anything like that. But if that little weight falls off, or if something happens where the tire is damaged, it might start to shake or vibrate, and because it has become unbalanced. So a lot of different uses for this word. Clear and unclear. When something is clear, it's easy to see, hear, or understand. When it's unclear, it's difficult to see, hear, or understand. In the pictures, we're talking about sight. So it's very clear. You can see through the window. You can see that the person sitting there is drinking tea. She has a ring on her finger. You're able to see her. It is clear. In the second picture, it's a little bit blurry. It's unclear. It's difficult to see her. We also use this to talk about listening. Like, I had trouble hearing the speaker, the things he was saying. It wasn't clear, or it was very unclear. Sorry, I should use the un version. We do negate using not as well sometimes. So the speaker didn't use a mic, but he was very clear. I could hear him. He spoke loud enough. He was very clear. Or he didn't speak very loudly and it was unclear what he was saying. We also use it to talk about understanding. My description might be very clear and you understand what I'm saying, or it might be unclear and you're confused and don't know what I'm saying. Equal and unequal. Equal would be the same in amount, size, or value. You have 2 children here. They each have 3 candies. The teacher has decided to give them each an equal amount, or their parent has given them an equal amount. In the second picture, though, we have unequal, not the same in amount, size, or value. So you have two kids here, and for some reason, the one kid has 4 candies and the other kid has 2 candies. So that is an unequal amount. So equal would be the same, unequal would be not the same amount. Acceptable and unacceptable. I will admit I used AI to make this photo because I thought it would be funny. Acceptable would be good enough to be allowed or approved. Unacceptable would be not good enough to be allowed or approved. If, let's say, I was having a birthday in the summer and Jen ordered a cake, she would want the cake to say, "Happy birthday, Bob." And when she went to pick up the cake, it would be acceptable if it looked like the cake with the blue icing. If Jen went to pick up the cake and it said, "Happy birthday, Bib," if the O was an I, that would be unacceptable. Jen would say, I can't take this home. Bob will not be happy if I bring this cake home. He will be wondering, who's Bib? Why did you get a cake that says "Happy birthday, Bib"? If you don't know, my name is Bob, B-O-B. So the far cake would be acceptable. The cake in the closer picture would be unacceptable. Acceptable being good enough to be allowed or approved. Unacceptable, good enough to be allowed or approved. So there we go. Happy birthday, Bib. When is Bib's birthday? That's what people are always wondering. When will Bib turn 1 year older? Okay, I'm going to turn on members only chat. If you don't know what that is, it lasts for approximately 8 to 10 minutes, usually 10 or more. And during that time, members can ask questions directly in the chat. At the same time, I will have a sip of water, and I will keep answering questions from the queue of questions as well. If you don't know what being a member is, quite simply, it means you click the join button or the subscribe plus button, and you agree to send me a tiny amount of money every month. And then you get an extra lesson on Wednesdays. You get a lesson plan on Mondays. You get your name in green in the chat during a live stream. You get a little crown by your name. You get to celebrate having a green name in the chat. And you get to participate in members only chat. And I might be repeating myself at this point in time, but do consider it. There is a join or subscribe plus button somewhere you can have a look at. Let's see here. Brent says, I actually have a friend I used to teach named Bim. Bim. Afia says, wonder if Bib also has a shorts YouTube channel. Possibly. Do you know what a bib is? A bib is a piece of cloth that you put on a child when they're really young. So when they eat, if food falls, it doesn't fall on their clothing. It falls on the bib. So you will often, when you have little kids under the age of 3, they might wear a bib while they're eating. So happy birthday, Bib. Know that. Hey, Bob, what are you up to today or this upcoming weekend? Got anything special planned? A heartfelt thank you as always. It has become sunny here. And because it's sunny, it is starting to dry up. That means Jen and I need to start irrigating. So tomorrow's plan is to hook up the irrigation pump, which can be a short job, but things don't always go as planned. By the way, in the UK, I think they say things don't always go to plan. Here we say things don't always go as planned. So we'll see. That's one thing I'm doing. Burgett says to know that yes and no, it was very sunny and hot, but now it looks nice. Very nice. Pretty well. Regarding the words with the prefix un, are there any cases we need to use the article an instead of a or not? Anion, ion, and anion? I can only think of the scientific one. Interior, anterior. Yeah, I'd have to think about that one, Freddie. There are definitely situations where we use an, not nearly as commonly as un. So I say, Andy, hi, Bob. What's the difference between unbelievable and incredible? Do they have the same meaning? Thank you. Yes, unbelievable simply means amazing. Like the concert was unbelievably good. It was unbelievable. Ed Sheeran played 87 songs. It was unbelievable. It was amazing. It was incredible. From Know That, I think Bib's birthday is coming up soon. As for Bob, I'm not sure. Just kidding. Key Park says, good to know what's Bib. Yes. We still have old bibs from when our kids were little. So yeah, I should teach a lesson about those kinds of things like crib and bib and Yeah, I can't remember all of them. We haven't had little kids for a long time. From Wanda. Hi, Teacher Bob. Fair enough and unfair are the same. I mean, are both of them negative? Thanks. Have a nice day. Fair enough is actually a phrase you use to agree with someone. If someone said to me, Bob, you need to work late tomorrow. We're going to have some parents stop by. You need to stay at work for an extra half hour. I might say, okay, fair enough. I'll make sure I stay. So you're actually agreeing. It doesn't mean you 100% agree. Like there is a little element of that you're annoyed, like fair enough. But yeah. And then unfair simply means just not fair. Like if you give one kid a chocolate bar and you give the other kid a small candy, the kid with the small candy will say, they'll probably say that's not fair. I would describe the situation as unfair. Freddie says, even AI doesn't know Bib's birthday. Oh, everything just scrolled really too fast. Hafia says, too sunny. How to make it unsunny. This word does not exist. LOL. Unsunny. Yeah. We usually just say cloudy, I think. Although unsunny would be understood. Like it was very unsunny today. It's not a word, but I would understand what you're meaning. Hello. People are saying no. That says I came across the words hither, thither, and helter-skelter the other day, Bob. Are they commonly used? No. Or do you only really stumble upon them in books? Yes, thanks in advance. So hither and yon, hither and thither. It's very British and very old sounding to me. Helter-skelter you might see somewhere. It means kind of like chaotic, but not commonly used, no. John says, hey, Bib, no questions. Just having fun and listening. Sometimes life gets a little hectic, and this week was like that for me. Me too. I told Jen I was going to binge watch her videos on Monday, but I couldn't. Oh, I'm sure she will understand. But you are right. I had the same situation where starting Saturday already last weekend, there were just little extra things I needed to do for family, for friends, for work, etc. And then the week kind of got away on me. Sai Sandy, is there any principle or usage of the prefix un? It's basically used as an opposite, but as I was saying earlier, the words themselves, like they are their own words. It's not like, trying to think, like equal and unequal, like they're both words to themselves. They don't have to be in the same sentence or anything like that. Is bib the short version of the word biberon? It might be, actually. Bridget says the students in Germany call bib for bibliothèque for studying there. Oh yeah, à la bibliothèque. There we go. Pretty Wolf. Hi, Bridget. I hope you enjoyed your little trip to France. Hey, I should scroll back. I don't think I missed any today. If I did, please tell me in the chat. I'm going to, I'll bring a question up on the screen here from the question form. Takagero says, hello, dear Teacher Bob. What about an outdoor lesson next week? Is it warm enough already? As long as it's not raining, I will once again be doing an outdoor lesson on Saturday. Wait, what is the date there? I might not be able to do it. We'll talk. I'm not sure I could do a lesson on January 6th. I have something else I have to go to. I'll tell you about that later. Let's see here. From Peter, I'm trying to advance my career at a U.S. company while working from Colombia. What do you recommend I do to gain the trust of my bosses and continue to move up the ladder? There are two things in North American companies that are valued. Number one is doing excellent work all the time consistently. So make sure your work is high quality. Make sure you want your bosses to look at it and say, we should get Peter to do the next project because he did excellent work on this one. And then number two is doing more than you're asked for, but this one can be tricky. Like if they ask you to find 10 ways to improve something, find 12 or 13. So number one, you need to do excellent work consistently. Number two, you need to go above and beyond to show initiative. I think in US and Canadian companies, they are looking for people who are competent and are motivated and show initiative. Initiative means, this is tricky, you don't just do what they tell you to do. You always do more, but when you do more, it has to really benefit the company. Like, yeah, that hopefully you understand. Maybe Brett can explain a bit more of the culture of moving up in an American company. But certainly do excellent work consistently and show initiative. Those two things will get you a long way. And you might have to toot your own horn a little bit. That means that, and this is hard as well because you don't want to sound arrogant, but if you're doing excellent work and you're going above and beyond, you're showing initiative, you might need to regularly make sure your manager knows you're doing that. But you don't want to, tricky. I could do a whole lesson on the culture of getting a promotion in an American or Canadian company. And Brent's using the term be a go-getter. Yeah, so if you're a go-getter, it means if your boss says move those 10 bricks, you move the 10 bricks, you do it exactly the way your boss wants, and then you say, okay, I'm done. I did it really quickly. What can I do next? If you move the 10 bricks and then you stand around and you smoke a cigarette, no one smokes anymore, but that's not being a go-getter. A go-getter does the job, does the next job, and finds ways to do things better. From Judith, hi Bob, have you seen those videos of Aerosmith which are called Unplugged? The band members are just sitting and singing without their instruments. Yes, unplugged is a common term in the music world. If a band normally has electric guitars and, amplifiers and microphones, they might just sit down with an acoustic guitar and do what's called an unplugged set or sing a song unplugged. From the chat, let's see here. No, that says Bob's always busy when his school year is in the final stretch. That's absolutely understandable. Yeah, and it feels like it started a week earlier this year for some reason. But let's just say I'm not playing in the teacher-student baseball game if one happens. I think it's my collarbone anniversary tomorrow or something like that. We make up words in English, by the way. So anniversary is your yearly date of celebrating the day you got married. But we could also mush it together with other words to sound humorous. So I broke my collarbone. So I can now invent a new word called my collarbone anniversary. And people who know that I broke my collarbone would understand what I'm saying. From Hafiez, I mentioned this before. I don't like double negatives. My brain will need time to process. That food is not unlike the food that he just made, but it's better there since theirs is not uncooked. Yes, double negatives ain't fun. Ain't no fun. Is that what I'm trying to say? Double negatives ain't no fun. There, that's a common way to use it. I should get back to the lesson, shouldn't I? Yes, let me do that. Let me turn off members only chat. And let's finish this lesson off. And then you guys can go on with your day and I can head back to work. Where am I at here? Oh yeah, I do need to keep moving along. So let's get this done. Freddie says, currently many schools must be closed because too high temperatures without AC. Oh, wow. Like a heat wave. Yeah, and then Brent says, I like the term be a go-getter and be passionate about your work. So that's referring to how to get a promotion in an American or Canadian company. So simply like working extra hours, there's all those things can help as well, but they're really looking for how you think, not necessarily how you physically work. So anyways, no, that says, thanks again for answering my questions. No problem. Here we go. Able and unable. I am able to do a live stream today. I was unable to make a video earlier this week for you. When you are able to do something, you are having the skill or power to do something or the time. When you're unable to do it, you're not having the skill or power to do something or the time. It's probably more common to talk about time. Like I'm able to go to work today. I feel really good. I'm not sick. I had breakfast. I'm required to go to work, but I'm also able to go to work. A few weeks ago, I was unable to go to work because I was not feeling well. So I didn't have the ability to do that. So when you are able to do something, it means that you can do it. When you're unable to do something, it means you can't do it for various reasons. And I know can and can't are hard to hear. So let me say that again. When you are able to do something, you can do it. When you are unable to do something, you can't do it. You can't do it. Okay. Certain and uncertain. So I did get AI to make this photo. Certain is when you are sure about something. And I had it make a sign that says, Scenic view, harder trail. And this guy, under the word certain, looks pretty positive. Uncertain, though, means you are not sure about something. And the lady in this picture looks uncertain. She's not sure she wants to do the harder trail. So when you are certain, you are sure about something. You know, I'm certain my name is Bob. It's not Bib. When you are uncertain about something, you're not sure about something. Common and uncommon. In the far picture, you see something that is found in many places, not rare. This is a Canadian stamp. You will see Canadian stamps everywhere. In the closer image, though, under the word uncommon, we see a US postage stamp that is very rare. It is not very common. If you have one, you should try to figure out how much it is worth. It is worth a lot of money. So common, something you see everywhere. In Canada, at least in my part of Canada, maple trees are very common, but palm trees are uncommon. So you will see a maple tree. I can see 3 right now, but if I want to see a palm tree, I have to go to a greenhouse or somewhere where they control the climate. Known and unknown. So this is I'll just make a little joke here. Known would be recognized or familiar to people. So we all know in the far picture that is Matt Damon. And then unknown would be someone who no one knows who it is. And I put Timothée Chalamet here because a few years ago, I went to see a movie and he was an unknown to me. I didn't know who he was, but my family all said he's the most popular actor right now. So unknown would be not recognized or familiar to people. So again, when I went to see, what movie did I go see? I'm trying, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Was that the one? Anyways, I went to see a movie with Timothée Chalamet and he was unknown to me. I did not know he was a famous actor, but Matt Damon is known. He is recognized or familiar to people. So yes, Timothée Chalamet. I should say this though. Let me say something positive about Timothée. He speaks fluent English and French, and that is really cool. So good job, Timothée Chalamet. Popular and unpopular. Popular would be liked by many people. Unpopular would be not liked by many people. So this can be almost anything. A movie can be very popular or a movie can be very unpopular. A musician can be very popular or unpopular. Unpopular usually means people don't like it. So they know about the person or they know about the thing and they don't like it. So it's different than unknown, at least in my opinion. So popular, liked by many people. Unpopular, not liked by many people. True. I had a little bit of fun with this one as well. True would be correct and in agreement with the facts. And we see a poster here that says World Series bound, and these are the Toronto Blue Jays from the fall of 2025. So in the fall of 2025, the Toronto Blue Jays, when you say they're bound, it means they're going to the World Series. They were going to play against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Untrue means not correct, not in agreement with the facts. And here you see a poster where it says World Series champs. This is untrue. This is not true. This is fake. So what is true is the Blue Jays were World Series bound. They were going to the World Series. What is true is that they lost the World Series. But just to have a little bit of fun, I made some fake news here where it says World Series champs. Look how excited they were. But this is untrue. It is not correct. It is not in agreement with the facts. Wise and unwise. Wise would be showing good judgment and understanding. And unwise would be showing poor judgment or understanding. So here we have two skiers. It would be wise to go down the easy way. And it would be unwise to go down the very, very challenging experts only part of the ski hill. I have made this decision before. I have made the unwise decision, and then I had to go down really slowly, basically jumping and turning for most of the slope. So selfish and unselfish. A selfish person would be someone who is caring mostly about yourself and your own needs. So if you care mostly about yourself and your own needs, you may be considered selfish. If you are unselfish, it means caring about the needs of others as well as your own. So in the first picture, we have what I would think is maybe a selfish person. He has lots of food and he is not sharing. It's a lot of food. It's very, very North American types of food there. And then unselfish would be caring about the needs of others as well as your own. We have someone who is handing the food to someone else and sharing it. So selfish, caring mainly about yourself and your own needs. Unselfish, caring about the needs of others as well as your own. Hurt, injured or feeling pain. Unhurt, not injured or unharmed. So we have 2 car accidents here. Under the word hurt, we have a lady who is holding her arm. She is probably injured and feeling pain. But the person in the closer picture, he seems fine. He's unhurt. He's not injured or unharmed. So you'll often read a news article and it might say something like car accident on Highway 27. Occupants of both vehicles are unhurt. Miraculously, they're unhurt. Or you might hear that 3 were hurt in the crash and 1 was unhurt. So hurt, injured, or feeling pain. Unhurt, not injured or harmed. Whoa, that's a little big. That's the end of the formal lesson. I will now answer questions. Hafia says, the unselfish group are eating healthy food. The selfish guy is eating unhealthy food. Haha, what a coincidence. Yes, good use of un and great comparison of the 2. Let me see here. As a Red Sox fan, baseball is a difficult subject to talk about now. Yes. The Blue Jays are kind of turning it around. Hafia says he was in Dune also, but Bob most likely was talking about the Wonka. I think it was the Wonka movie. Yes, that's probably the one. Okay. Let me finish off the questions, everybody, and we will wrap up this lesson. Unabi says, another fun fact, if we'd lived in the 15th century, we would write not un, but VN. The letter U was included into English a bit later. Oh, very cool. I did not know that. From Fritz, hi Bob, I hope you're well. Do you like MTV Unplugged? When I was in university, MTV was kind of in its infancy. It was just starting. So I did watch MTV and I am familiar with MTV Unplugged, but I don't know when that started. Brent's got to go to class. See you, Brent. Oh, classes are changing. Yes, enjoy your morning and afternoon. Let me see here. Yay, he says, how measuring healthy food? So the best way to determine if food is healthy or not is by how much sugar it has in it, in my opinion. And for me, I like to make sure I'm eating healthy food in the right portion sizes. So tricky question to answer because it depends on the person. From Fabian, do you know the difference between an umbrella, a shade, parasol, or sunshade? So an umbrella is the most common thing used in Canada. An umbrella is used if it's raining so that you don't get wet. Using any kind of shade or parasol or sunshade is very uncommon. So an umbrella is common, and the rest are uncommon. Although people will use a beach umbrella for shade when they're at the beach. From Azad, hello Bob, how are you? I listen to English a lot, but I don't learn quickly. What is the reason? If you are not understanding most of what you are hearing, it's difficult to learn new vocabulary. If you are not practicing reading, writing, listening, and speaking, you might advance in your listening, but the others don't move. Like maybe your listening is like a 5 out of 10 and the other ones are 1 out of 10. So practice all 4. Hafia says, Bob is using a lot of AI images today. Very surprising. Might actually be Bib doing the lesson today. It's cool you picked up on that. For some of these, it was very difficult to find the kind of picture I was looking for. So yes, I did. I'm usually like 95% not AI, but today we're probably close to 50%. Like the equal, unequal, the cake with Bib on it. There were a few more. I was going to say I made the Blue Jays poster myself. That's not AI. But yes, it was hard to find like someone who was hurt and unhurt in a car accident. So yes, lots of AI today, which was handy. I do enjoy it when I need it. From Aragawi, hello teacher, or hello dear. Could you kindly share your teaching materials, for example, the PowerPoint presentations? I've done this in the past and then I forget to do it. So when I re-release this on Sunday, I will try to remember to do that. It's just a PDF. It's a Google Doc actually. So from Mode. What do you mean by undone? Do you mean that the work has not yet been completed or that it can be reversed after completion? Okay, so if you have something that's in pieces and you start putting it together, it's undone. And then when you put the last piece in it, it's done. So like, are you done making the cake? No, it's undone. Are you done putting together the Lego set? It's undone. But something can come undone, which means like this button can come undone. If I'm walking at school and this button isn't done up, I would say, oh, this button came undone. So that might be what you're looking at in that situation. Not 100% sure, but that's what it sounds like to me. Hafia says, oh, like a zipper. Your zipper is undone. Yes, you're flying low. Your zipper is undone. By the way, that's the informal way of saying if you're walking and the zipper on your pants is down, it's very embarrassing. Someone might say you're flying low or your fly is down. So anyways, Sai Sandy, in English test, there is usually a true or false quiz. I thought the opposite of true is false. Yes, we have lots of extra words. True, false, true, untrue. Yes, definitely you could use both. Well, thank you. I'm sorry that Bob couldn't make it today. Thank you for watching this lesson with Bib, the Canadian. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Yeah, look that one up. Hafia's flying low. No, that says, thanks for the wonderful hour of your and for your time, Bob. Wishing you and your family a lovely Friday and a marvelous restful weekend. Take care of yourself. You too. This was fun. No, that says, perhaps there is no older brother named John who looks very much like him, but rather Bib, who is his twin. Actually, there's a Jin. John and Jin. Okay, enough of the Bib jokes. It was funny for a moment. I will stop telling Bib jokes. Unsol, thank you for another amazing and insightful lesson. Your creative topics always make learning so much fun. You're awesome. Thank you. Have a great day and weekend with your loved ones. Bye. Yes. So I wish you the best as well, Unsol. And going back to Know That, thanks to Unsol. Know That, I hope you have a good weekend as well. Thank you from Key Park, Bridget, Wanda, John Wedge, and Sai Sandy are all saying thank you. So you are very welcome. I'm going to go. Bye to everyone. Thank you for watching. Remember, this lesson will come out in a shorter version in a couple days. You should rewatch it or at least re-listen to it if you want to kind of move these words into your long-term memory. Right now, they're floating in your short-term memory, but if you want to move them into your long-term memory, you need some repetition. So taking notes, listening to the lesson again, or a combination of those is very, very helpful. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. You're awesome. I will see you hopefully Tuesday with a new lesson. I'm still a bit busy, but hopefully I get one. I'm going to be working on one tomorrow, actually. Know That asked what I was doing this weekend, but okay, bye. I'm just laughing at Hafia's Bib bye. Bye-bye. Okay,